The tunnel is shaking from 40,000 voices above him, every single one of them cheering for his opponent. He laces his boots tighter. The tunnel smells like wet concrete and old adrenaline. Above, the noise doesn't echo, it presses down. You can feel it in your teeth, in the bones behind your ears. The visiting squad walks in a tight line toward the rectangle of light at the corridor's end. Their white jerseys look too clean for what's coming. The captain, late 30s, broad-shouldered, close-cropped dark hair, steel-gray eyes that haven't blinked, walks with the casual stride of someone heading to a morning meeting. His face tells you absolutely nothing. That's the point. Behind him, a young midfielder, early 20s, dark braids pulled tight, wide brown eyes scanning everywhere at once, is trying to control her breathing. Her hands are shaking, not a little, visibly. She's played in front of crowds before, 10,000, maybe 15. This is 40,000 people who paid money to watch her fail. The noise has a temperature, it's hot, wraps around her chest and squeezes. She tucks her trembling fingers inside her jersey sleeves and keeps walking. Her cleats echo on the concrete like a countdown she can't stop. On the other side of the pitch, the home team star forward is already warming up under the floodlights. Mid-20s, sandy blonde hair, red jersey with gold trim, loose, grinning, rolling the ball under his boot like it grew there. He plays better in front of this crowd. Feeds off the roar the way a circuit feeds off voltage. 14 goals this season at home. 0 away, but he doesn't think about that number. Doesn't need to. Tonight, these are his 40,000. Every voice in the building is singing his name, and he believes every syllable. Here's what nobody in that stadium knows yet, and what makes this story worth telling. By the final whistle, those 40,000 will be silent, not angry, not booing. Silent, the specific, disorienting kind of quiet that settles over people when reality contradicts everything they believed was certain. The question I want you to sit with for the next few minutes is simple. How? How does a team that every expert dismissed walk into a fortress and dismantle it from the inside? The answer isn't inspiration. It isn't courage. It's stranger than both. Let me give you the math. Across every major team sport on Earth, decades of data, hundreds of thousands of matches, home teams win roughly 60% of the time. 60. That's not a coin flip with a thumb on it. That's a gravitational force built into competition itself. Crowd noise shifts referee decisions by measurable margins. Familiar pitch, familiar locker room, no hotel bed the night before, it compounds. A visiting team isn't just playing 11 opponents. They're playing probability itself. And probability tonight says they lose. The captain stands in the center circle, waiting for kickoff. He hasn't spoken to anyone since the tunnel. A teammate leans over and says something about the noise, maybe a joke, maybe nerves dressed up as humor. The captain nods once, looks down at the grass. He has a ritual. Picks one blade, rolls it between his thumb and forefinger, drops it. Watches which way the wind takes it. He's done this for 15 years. It means nothing. That's exactly why he does it. The meaninglessness steadies him. The whistle blows and the stadium detonates. For the first 20 minutes, the home side plays like the final score is already decided. Every pass arrives a half-second earlier. Every challenge bites harder. The crowd transforms throw-ins into celebrations, tackles into war cries. The visiting team absorbs it, not fighting back, not folding, just absorbing, the way a coastline absorbs a storm without moving. The young midfielder chases a ball into the corner, gets shouldered off it, slams into the advertising boards. She gets up slowly. The crowd roars. They smell blood. 26th minute. The home star receives the ball at the edge of the box, sandy blonde hair catching the floodlights, and does what he does best. A shimmy, a burst of acceleration, a finish that barely grazes the net before the crowd swallows the stadium whole. He slides on his knees across the wet grass, arms wide open, face tilted to the sky like he's receiving communion. Scoreboard flickers, 1-0. In the visiting dugout, coaches exchange glances. On the pitch, the captain doesn't react. Not frustration, not determination, nothing. He walks to the center spot and waits. The young midfielder feels the goal land in her chest like a fist. Around her, 40,000 people are making a sound that isn't cheering anymore, it's certainty. They are certain. The experts were right. The odds were right. She looks at the scoreboard and her vision tunnels, the edges going dark. Her legs feel heavy, filled with wet sand. She thinks about her mother watching at home, 400 miles away on a sofa, and the thought doesn't help. It tightens her throat, makes her eyes sting. She is 22 and she wants to disappear into the pitch. Here's where it gets strange, and this is the part I need you to watch closely. The captain's team is losing. The stadium is celebrating. The odds just got measurably worse. And he is doing exactly what he was doing before the goal. Same posture, same breathing, same unhurried jog to reposition. No fist-pumping rally, no barked instructions. The broadcast camera finds his face and there's nothing on it, not calm exactly, but absence. Like the goal didn't register as an event worth processing. His teammates search his eyes for a signal, a spark, anything. He gives them steady, absolute nothing. Halftime. The visiting dressing room is quiet in the way hospitals are quiet. People are alive in here, but something is wrong. Coaching staff huddle over tablets, arrows, data, adjustments. The captain sits on a wooden bench against the far wall, arms folded, sweat dripping from his chin onto the concrete floor in a slow metronome. He waits until every voice in the room stops. Then he stands, walks to the whiteboard, draws one shape, a single rectangle, one arrow, one passing lane, puts the marker down, looks at the room, says 4 words. Play exactly our game. That's it. He doesn't explain what went wrong. Doesn't mention the crowd, the scoreline, the experts, the young midfielders shaking hands. He treats all of it, the 40,000, the probability, the scoreboard, as weather. You don't argue with rain. You don't motivate your way through wind. You put your head down and execute the plan that was already good enough before any of it started. There's a general who once answered a surrender demand with a single word. This captain just used 4. The room is still. Then the young midfielder stands up first. Pause. I want you to think about the last time you walked into a room where nobody believed you belonged. Maybe it was a job interview where 3 people across the table had already made up their minds. Maybe it was a gym where everyone looked like they'd been lifting since they could walk. Maybe it was just a Tuesday morning where your own reflection didn't look like someone who could pull off what needed doing. You had a choice in that moment, the exact same choice this team is making right now, walking back out onto that pitch. Play someone else's game or yours. Second half. The visiting team emerges and something has changed, but it's not what you'd expect. It's not energy. Not a fired-up, screaming, chest-thumping transformation. It's quieter, sharper, precision. Every pass is 1 touch shorter. Every run cuts 2 meters deeper. The formation tightens like a closing fist. The young midfielder receives the ball in open space and doesn't flinch. Her first touch is clean, surgically clean. Her pass splits 2 defenders and finds the striker running blind. The crowd's roar comes a beat later than it should, reactive now, not driving. Something in the stadium's gravity has shifted. The home star gets the ball wide and tries his shimmy, the exact move that made 40,000 people lose their minds 20 minutes ago. This time, a visiting defender reads it like a headline, steps in, closes the space, takes the ball clean as a pickpocket. The forward stands there for a half second, blinking as if the ground shifted under his feet. The crowd calls his name, but the sound is thinner now, stretched. He tries again 3 minutes later. Different angle, same wall. His jaw clenches. His shoulders drop. He prepared for one game. They're playing a different one entirely. 63rd minute. The young midfielder picks up a loose ball at the halfway line. She doesn't think thinking is what the first half was for. She runs. Straight through the channel the captain drew on that whiteboard, the 1 rectangle, the 1 arrow. 2 defenders converge and she slides the ball sideways to the striker, who buries it low and hard past the keeper's dive into the bottom corner. The net shivers. Scoreboard, 1-1. And here is the moment the mystery begins answering itself. The crowd doesn't erupt in anger. It goes quiet. Not silent yet, but quiet, confused, like a sentence that just lost its verb. The young midfielder is a different person now. Her hands aren't shaking, they are fists. Her eyes aren't scanning, they're hunting. She wins a tackle that makes the home bench stand up involuntarily. sprints 40 meters to press the goalkeeper into a panicked clearance. She's everywhere, and every time she touches the ball, the stadium's volume drops another notch, like someone is slowly turning a dial. 78th minute, she receives a pass on the edge of the box, shifts her weight left, shoots right. The ball curls past the keeper's outstretched fingertips and settles into the far corner. 2-1. 40,000 voices gone. Here's the answer to the mystery. The captain didn't motivate his team, didn't inspire them, didn't overcome the crowd or summon some hidden well of belief. He did something simpler and far harder. He made the noise irrelevant. 4 words on a whiteboard: play exactly our game. He removed the 40,000, removed the 5 experts, removed the scoreboard itself from the equation. He stripped the moment down to the only thing that was ever real: 11 people executing what they'd already trained to do, in the order they'd already planned. No belief required, no speeches, just the work, repeated until the world bent around it. So the next time you're grinding through something at midnight, building a thing no one can see yet, surrounded by people who have already decided how your story ends, remember this. 40,000 people can be completely, provably wrong. So can 5 experts. The scoreboard is the only opinion that ever required anything of you, and you already answered it. If you're fighting a fight nobody sees right now, this one was for you. I'm Cole. The scoreboard doesn't read opinions. Subscribe, a new story like this every evening.